Thank you so much,
Thank
Nina
you.
and Drew. My name's Sheeta Chin. I'm an accommodations and retention counselor here at the Bob Murphy Access Center, also called BMAC.
And my name is Paola Ulloa. I am a support services assistant at Bob Murphy Access Center.
So we are the Bob Murphy Access Center, also called BMAC, and we serve students with disabilities. So we are going to do an overview. This is a small group, so feel free to go off mute and ask questions, okay? And there's also the chat feature. So we are located in the Shakirian Family Student Success Center in room 110. And then at the middle of the slide, you'll see a photo of where we are located. That is our building. We are located in the front and center. Our email address is on there. We also have our phone number. Our operating hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our testing hours of operations are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. And then during finals week, we are open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Something we like to highlight during our presentations is at the bottom, it is a quote, "Disability is part of the human experience. It is the nation's largest minority group that any one person can join at any time. Almost everyone will temporarily or permanently experience disability at some point in their life." Disabilities can appear visible or non-visible, permanent or temporary, and it may vary in impact or severity. Here are some of the groups that we serve, and this isn't the comprehensive list. ADHD, acquired traumatic brain injury, other functional limitations such as diabetes, Crohn's disease, IBS, learning disabilities, communicative, deaf of hard of hearing, mobility, autism spectrum, psychological, psychiatric, and that can be anywhere from schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, anxiety, or PTSD, and visual limitations. We love numbers and data here at the beach, so we just wanted to provide you with some numbers. The student population at CSULB, admitted students in fall 2023, was 39,530. And then the BMAC student population, which means that they registered with the BMAC office in fall 2023, was a little 2,371. Let's take a minute and look at those numbers. We have almost about 40,000 students admitted into Long Beach, and we have about 6% registered with BMAC. And that makes you think, how many more students are not registered with our office? And then on the right-hand side, we have a pie chart of the breakdown of the disabilities that we serve. On the bottom right hand, you'll see that psychological, psychiatric is at the highest at 26%. Coming in second is ADHD at 20%. Temporary disabilities at 16%, meaning if students are on those e-scooters and they have an accident, break their arm, they would fall under that category. And we also serve pregnant and parenting students. Here is the BMAC program overview. We have a large staff and it takes a village, as we all know. We offer a wide range of accommodation services and resources referrals determined on a case-by-case basis. And then just as I mentioned, we additionally serve pregnant and parenting students. We have the Lower Shakirian Support Services, which in short we call support services. We provide students and faculty with exam accommodations. And we also facilitate BMAC services such as parking and note-taking services. The Stephen Benson program are for students with learning disabilities, such as ADHD and ADD. We do provide learning disability assessments, as well as off-campus referrals and writing support. We have our Life Project, which works with students with autism and other disabilities, helping them make a successful transition to college. We also have Life Project and peer coaching that occurs where they do workshops, meet campus partners, and life skills. We have case management available here at the Bob Murphy Access Center, where we connect students with on and off-campus referrals and resources, and we also can support students who need assistance with obtaining disability documentation for their registration. We have deaf of hard of hearing, which facilitates communication access on campus. For example, ASL interpreters and captioners. We have our ATP, which provides student and faculty with course materials in alternate formats if students need Braille or enlarged print due to visual limitations. We also have assistive technology and accessible course training for faculty via Canvas. We also work closely with Workability 4 in collaboration with CDC and DOR, Department of Rehabilitation. We provide eligible students with vocational preparation workshops and disability-based employment guidance. And then just as a note, we do register students on a rolling basis. Reasonable accommodations. What are reasonable accommodations? So reasonable accommodations are modifications or adjustments to the tasks, environment, or to the way things are usually done that enable individuals with disabilities to have an equal opportunity to participate. Some of the reasonable accommodations provided by VMAC are exam accommodations that may include extended time, distraction reducer, private environment, paging flexibilities for online exams, which allow students to go back and forth on a question, a reader or a scribe. Some classroom accommodations are note-taking technology, breaks as needed, accessible or captioned media materials, and accessible furniture. This is not a comprehensive list of accommodations for our students. Some accommodation examples, we like to provide visuals as well. So classroom furniture, some of the furniture we have on campus aren't necessarily accessible. We have note-taking, interpreter, real-time captioning, test taking, and breaks during class or field work. So getting started, some people may wonder how to get started. So the first step after students attend their SOAR, we highly recommend students to register after they've attended their SOAR. They will log into their single sign-on, also called SSO, and then they will find the My BMAC chiclet and they will complete their student application. The second step, they can upload any supporting documentation that specifies the disability, pregnancy-related diagnoses, or disability-related limitations or impacts. We also have the disability verification form on the right-hand side that we have on our BMAC website under our Forms tab, or you can have the therapist or working provider write a letter that states functional limitations. And we also have guidelines that have list what is expected on the letter. The third step is once everything is good to go, you will attend your welcome meeting, and then the student and the specialist will go through the interactive process to have a little chat about what works best for them and what doesn't. And then just as a note, a student is not registered with BMAC until they've had their welcome meeting. Some BMAC programming that is coming up is Summer Life at the Beach. If y'all are interested, this is again with the Life Project. So students that are diagnosed with autism or any other neurodiverse. It's happening July 30th and August through August 2nd on campus. And it's an amazing program. They will be living in the dorms and it is a free cost. If you are interested, please let us know and we'll drop it in the chat. And then we will be hosting a new student orientation on August 20th. We still need to figure out the time, but we will definitely be sending that information out as time allows. That comes to the conclusion of the presentation. Does anyone have any questions or any comments?
Gina, I have a question that I've gotten from parents. Um, I think you may have covered this, but just I want to make sure we re-emphasize the point. From the point of the initial contact from a student, how long does it take your staff typically to respond or to make an assessment to start coordinating services or accommodations for students?
That's a great question, Jesse. So it really depends on the time that they're submitting their application. We say 2 weeks to keep it safe, but our amazing front office coordinators definitely works a lot faster than that. Anywhere from probably 7 to 10 business days. Again, it really just depends on the time as well, because you may think summer, we are slow, we are not. We're definitely making way for just closing the spring semester out and prepping for fall. But again, we definitely want to make sure that we are meeting with the students so that they get their accommodations when they can.
Right. And I bring that up because I had a couple conversations with parents this past week, and so it's kind of timely. But they also automatically assume that the IEP that they had in high school automatically comes over with them. And I said, nah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. That's why you need to have those conversations now.
Yes, correct. So they can definitely submit the IEP. Again, sometimes those accommodations may not carry over, but that's why the specialist and the student meets, just to find out what works best for the student, because we understand every student is different. Every disability looks very different on every single student. So we provide them with access. And if they need additional support, we may do a warm handoff with the Learning Center so they can have academic coaches, TRIO, EOP, and we just really need to meet the student where they're at.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Of course. Either I did a really good job or no one wants to come forward. Is everyone excited for their student to attend Cal State Long Beach?
Very excited.
Good.
Dana, it looks like you just joined us. Did you have any specific questions for Cheetah and our BMAC representatives?
Not at this point. I'm just happy to be here and listen. I'm sorry I had to join late.
Okay. We
Thank
do our
you.
very best. We try to do this at a time that perhaps works for people. There really isn't a great, perfect time for everyone. So we thank all of
Right.
you for joining us. Right.
Awesome. Anybody that's still here, you could feel free, like we said, you could unmute yourself and ask any questions that you may have for our BMAC team. You could also drop any of your questions in the chat, and we are happy to help. Yes, so this the question in the chat was, is this the only sorry, let me make sure. Is this the only topic for this Zoom? Correct. This beach connection session is for those who have questions or wanted to get to know a little bit more about our Bob Murphy Access Center and providing access to our students as they come to CSU Long Beach. So this is for the Bob Murphy Access Center. We do have alternative beach connection sessions throughout the remainder of the summer. Those are listed on our website. So we have various campus partners come in and give presentations. We've already had a few. So we had a presentation with the financial aid and scholarships team who came in and talked about student financial aid and how to access scholarships for students. We also had our university housing and residential life team come in and give a presentation about living on campus and for students that are interested in living in the dorm halls. Those sessions, similar to this one, were recorded and they are going to be put onto our CSU Long Beach parent and family YouTube page. So you can access those as well, and you can review those and see if they answer any of your questions as part of their presentation. And they have been very helpful for parents that have attended. So, but yes, this is the only session. This is the session that we will be talking about BMAC. Awesome. I do see a question in the chat for one of you all.
Perfect. So when the students request their accommodations, a faculty notification letter will get sent out to their professors. We do encourage students to approach their professors if they're comfortable, just to let them know, hey, I'm a BMAC student, and that just allows like relationship building. We always tell them you never know when you need a letter of recommendation. So we do everything through the portal called My BMAC, which I showed where they register for their application. And they do everything through there. So the student will also get an eligibility letter themselves. And then after they request their accommodations, the faculty notification letter gets sent to the professor. Yeah, of course. And then the professors have their own access to My BMAC too, so they can also log on and double check information.
Jesse, you're muted.
Try that one more time. One of the topics that we cover in parent-family orientation is FERPA. And with FERPA, I was wondering if you could speak to a little bit to the limitations or the boundaries that you typically encounter when working with students, but having parents involved in those discussions. What recommendations would you have for parents?
That is a hard one. Only because I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I have an idea, but definitely have those conversations with your child, right? They are here, they're coming to the beach, they have a sense of freedom. So we do have parents fill out a consent form, and that is valid for a year. And it's up to the student if they want the parent to be allowed in conversations, and we are happy to accommodate whatever the student wants.
Awesome. Any other questions that anybody may have about BMAC or even parent and family programs, parent and family orientation? We're happy to help.
So one other thing I want to say, sorry, this is Alfredo Macias, Director of Residential Dining with Beach Shops. That if your student has a dietary restriction, that the process to go is to initially start the paperwork with BMAC, and then BMAC will reach out to our registered dietitian, and then from there they coordinate with the student to address any of the concerns that the student may have or any dietary restrictions that they have. So that's one of the things that we've been doing in the last few years is working with the BMAC office, and then they're the catalyst in which the students go through and then connect with us so we can accommodate.
Thank you for bringing that up. That is important.
Awesome. Jesse, I'm not sure, or well, Cheetah and Paula, I'm not sure if you have any final words or remarks or anything that you'd like to say before I open it up for Jesse to drop any comments if he has any.
I put my email in the chat, so if you don't have any questions or any concerns or anything, just email.
No, I just want to say thank you all for joining us today. We know that you lead busy lives, and so, but this is also an important topic for our students. We want to support them to be successful both in and outside the classroom. So thank you all. Thank you to the BMAC staff for joining us. Everyone who's joined us today, and especially Nina and Andrew for putting this together. As she mentioned, we have a series of different topics over the next few weeks, actually throughout the summer. So if you have a chance, take a look at our website, see what topics are coming up, and join us for those live conversations. If not, as Nina mentioned, we got them, we will have them posted on our YouTube page, so you can go back and reference them. So with that, I'm going to have Nina close us out, or tell us a couple jokes or something. What are you going to do, Nina?
I'm not good with jokes being on the fly. But like just kind of echoing what Jesse has said, thank you all so much for your contributions and for being here to support your students. It is definitely a big shift for them. So, going into, and I've said this throughout parent and family orientation, that your students, it's a big shift for them as much as it is for you. They spent their whole life of this specific structure, and now they're going to navigate university life, which is quite a bit different from what they're used to. And so they're really going to need that support and that helping hand. And even if they don't say to you that they need your support, you have always been the #1 supporter for them, and they will need it in this process. So encourage your student to use their resources, including BMAC. It is a really great resource for them, and it's very accessible for them. So they are able to have the help that they need to succeed in college. But that is all I have to say. If you're interested in joining us for any of our parent and family orientation sessions, please visit us online. We still have availability for our sessions at the end of July and in August, and we would love to have you. So without further ado, thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, and this will be uploaded on the YouTube page if you want to review it again. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Go Beach!
Go Beach.